Hello, everyone. Dale Pinkert here. I'm with Mike Venezia.
Morning.
How are you, Mike? Crude exploding, getting parabolic. I tried to topic it today, didn't work out for me. Stepped in front of a freight train. Takes time to learn, like 30 years. So
I'm in a couple.
All right. So I want to know what you're thinking here. Since the low we put in on the invasion last Thursday, what has been the best performing groups and stocks that you're participating in?
Well, listen, you know what I mean? It's that I appreciate that. And good morning, everyone. You can see a TradeGATEHub. Let's sign in. Well, this is the TradeView market site. By the way, let me digress. And I'm not going to believe me, Coach. Your question is the divergence is amazing, and let me go into TradeGATEHub and sign in here. I don't want to keep going off on tangents. You know what I mean? So when I have some screens, I apologize to everybody that I see things blinking and flashing, but I want to be focused. And I'm going to show you my groups in a second and what's moving on the screens to edify that. But let's sign in the TradeGATEHub. Okay. I sign in the same way as everybody else does. It's that simple. We make it that simple for everybody, just so you can get in and get into the action, for lack of a better term. I really don't like losing that word action, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. All right. Well, let's go through the first of all, this is the main room where you do the majority of your posting. Is that right, Coach?
Yes.
Okay. Also, the TradeGATEHub channel. Let me stress this. I don't know how else to put it. This basically is our track record. The video with the team and everyone at TradeGATEHub created the channel, so you can go back and look at all our videos. By the way, Coach, and listen, not the great. You're getting like first high level, big guys to participate this Thursday. Even another one, the Pivot King, I believe. Well, I've heard of him. Yes, I have.
All right.
Yeah. I've heard of Helene is a major writer for a major publication so I appreciate that as well. I'm learning. The reason why I said that is because everybody can go back and should and look at the YouTube channel and go back over our past videos. We do it on average at least 2 a day. And I'm saying that is I go back and also try to look at myself to put out a better product. I don't know if I articulate well enough. I don't know sometimes if I'm going off on tangents, and I do, but at least it's very, very relevant if I do. ATXI halted. There's one right there. I just saying that go back to the YouTube channel. It's really good to get the process and the fundamentals down. I never get tired of saying that, athletes practice for 68 hours a week to play a 2 hours, sometime a 60-minute game. So it really gets down to fundamentals and preparation. I know what I'm going to do in the morning, and that's because the number one thing we do is have a plan. But that's only because I have my universe and my system set up properly. And I'll finish with this, and I won't pontificate. I don't have a better system. You don't have a better system. Maybe we after we've been trading a long time, or we happen to do our system a little bit better. So everybody that participates in TradeGATEHub, and I don't want to give another cheesy cliche, but it's not. It's very relevant. Everybody right here is in medical school. It's up to you if you want to become a podiatrist and an optometrist, a neurologist. You can trade any type of financial. We trade all. Listen, we're not shy here. We trade every financial instrument out there, for lack of a better term. So let's get into the sector that
it's a discovery process to see whether your temperament is better for day trading, swing trading, what instruments you want to trade. Jack Schwager, who's interviewed the best in the business, I once asked him what the most important piece of advice he could give traders, and he said, find a style that fits your personality.
Thoughts on BP? Good question, Rich. No, it does really, and I say that all the time. I'm saying this right now for one of our young to Francis, a young man that works with me very closely. I literally use the reason why you use the medical school analogy is because I don't want to be in. Listen, I don't want to. I don't have a big filter. I have a little filter when it comes to trading financial instruments. I stay in my lane, blah blah blah. But I'm liberal, and I don't want my influences. I'm tailoring it down here to sometimes I can make good money. On the opposite side, we know what happens. Look at the oils are coming down a little bit now. The stocks coach, the crude. So I know I don't want to be that much
the
of
most crowded trade on the board, Mike. Today, the DSI, that's a daily sentiment index, came in at 93.
Yes, it is.
Crude, and it reminds me of last Thursday. S&Ps were 10, and we saw what happened there.
Well, listen, let's get into some. Listen. You know, let's get back to this, and I'm going to finish right away because we're going to get back into trading because of the members that have been with us for a while. I appreciate your patience because I go over this a lot, and I just want to build the most solid foundation possible. And you can go into the videos, even go to something right now. You know, we go from 1, 2, 3 to 10. You know, we kind of skipped 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, and 7 are what the videos are for. You know what I mean? That's planning, that's practice, and everything like that. So, what was I saying? Let's get back into the DS. It did have a DSI of that level, and I'll show you the screen right now and what I'm trading. You know, I came in long SU. I made some good money. I I came in and I.
What is SU?
SU is it's just one of these other oil stocks.
Okay.
I'm short CLR now. I'll show my trades. By the way, that never made a new high. So CLR, can you see my charts? Yes, you can.
Yeah, I can. And crude made a new high by $4.
And today. CLR right now, I'm short. And where am I short from? And it's a trade. I don't know if I really picked the top yet. I'm short nicely I'm up 6,000 or whatever in it. So I covered it a little bit. Hold on, I'm gonna cover a little bit right now. What else am I short? I'm short Oxy, by the way, which is a loser. I came in short that early. I got Sexy. So right now I'm basically I'm down 2,000 in it, a couple of thousand. I should have covered it right before I came on the air, 47.61. But what showed me maybe the crude was turning around was these other ones. Fang went negative. PXD, which is arguably a best of breed, is down $2. Now, granted, it's only down a fraction, but it did previously break those other 2-year highs, and it has decent volume. So Chevron's the big daddy, for lack of a better term, to watch. That's coming nicely. You know, I'm not going to say that's going to go negative, but certainly a stock. It's a 3-day up rule, Coach, isn't it?
That's right.
From 135 to 149, and you know everybody should hear what it takes to move Chevron. That's a big move. You know, that's not moving one of these little tertiary stocks.
Yeah, so, and look at your RSI there, Mike. It was here, same example here that you're showing. Momentum is not confirming the new highs on a lot of these issues that you're showing here today.
No, they're not. They're not. And you know what? This is my universe right here. Chevron, I always put up top. ConocoPhillips was the best of breed, and that was the easy long, if you will.
Okay.
I mean, that was you know what? That was an easy long. That was, if you didn't take ConocoPhillips with that type of volume sitting here, that was no time to try to pick the double top, especially with the RSI and what else is going on. You go to the weekly, it's good. That was the trade. You know what I mean? So I just went for the weaker one, and maybe Oxy. Oxy, I was a little bit early on because that made a little bit of that made a jolt move up from 46.20 to 40. That's a good move too. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to get out of it. Let me clear this up so you can see it. I apologize. You know, that's not really adhering to my 3-day up rule. That's actually 2 days. So, you know, I kind of outsmarted myself, and I'm going to get out of it very quickly. So it might go down, it might go up. If it goes back to the 45, whatever, I'll move on. I don't really care, but crude is the play. So let's go back to my universe. You know, these are the stocks that are moving. How about our Alcoa? I'm sorry about talking Lewis out of Alcoa. I said to sell half of it yesterday at 80. At one point, Alcoa was up $7, and I got so frustrated at seeing Alcoa up at one point where I missed the easy money, but I did short a little. I did short some Alcoa at 85 over the figure, 85.70. I covered it at 84. So I made it. I mean, I think I shorted 600 shares because I was just wanted to be in it. So 85.65 to 80, whatever. I made $1.40. I left a little, a good chunk on the table on the reversal. That really wasn't my type of trade because I thought Alcoa still had a little juice in the punch bowl, but it came down a little bit more than I thought. So I made a little bit of money. I didn't miss the long. So next, but these commodity stocks are the one. Look at your GDXJ. Look at this. I mean, we said, even the Newmont, we said, wasn't it? We talked about Newmont. That was something, it had a nice pullback, but that wasn't something that we would have shorted. And your miners are acting well. GDXJ and our Nougat, the triple ETF, that had, I mean, that's in that range. And I wouldn't, the ultimate compliment, I wouldn't short it. I mean, I might buy it, but I don't want to always use a frame of reference why I wouldn't short it. But as it comes as a contra trader, when something moves in a precipitous move, the first thing that comes to my mind is, would I even consider shorting it if it goes up, or buying it on a dip? And if I say I would consider buying it on a dip, then it's not a short to me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know if it's,
Mike, during this, what's happening geo-wise, a lot of people are worried with all the sanctions, how we're squeezing Putin, that there's going to be some type of cyber attack, and the cyber stocks really got juiced, I believe, late last week, early this week. Anything that you're participating in on cybersecurity?
yeah, it was. I still have some. What happened to my charts here? Let me give me a second. File, new window. Let's go to chart. We'll give you a new chart. Okay, cybersecurity. Yeah, I like this S as posted. That was my active account, by the way, for those not familiar. And look at S here. If we go to TradeGATEHub, give me a second because it's relevant. I am buying TTD as well. The key will be Alcoa. I did buy Zoom, Alcoa. I did buy S. As a matter of fact, I put it on here for a post. S was the cybersecurity stock that I was in. And I also was long NLOK, which I sold. Where's that S? Like Ralph Cramden said, look at that S cargo. You ever see The Honeymooners, Coach?
Yes.
You know the joke?
No.
You don't?
No.
What is a joke? Okay. Wasn't for rumors. Trust me, I'm in S. I'm not going to waste anybody's time nitpicking.
All right.
But S is the cybersecurity stock that I liked. FTNT is leading. That had a nice bounce. CRWD was the former best of breed. And if you still want to buy a stock here, my charts got destroyed for a minute. I have to go back. NLOK is the one that I still like and has room. Norton antivirus lock, whatever it may be.
Okay. Yeah.
So NLOK, I still like it. It has these type of moves in it. I mean, it does pull back, but I think this is the type of sector. You go to weekly. I think this has more in it. I wish I had my RSI here, and I want to apologize to everybody. You know what? Hold on a second. Let me do this. File, layout, settings, recover. Let's go to Tuesday. Open without boarding. We're doing some advanced thing at TradeGate. For example, in the meantime, I'll go to here to try to get my charts. So I got the chart back. How you doing? Hold on. Let me go put my charts here. And the question was what, Coach?
Well, we were talking about the
cybersecurity.
Yeah, and cyber. So many things are related to Russia, and I talked to an analyst today who was very bullish uranium last year. And, we had that big run in uranium stocks and had him back. And he says, it looks like we're breaking out again for another move to the upside. And I said, is it all Russia? And he brought up the point, no, that Germany is also making an about face on nuclear energy. They were really wanted to go all green. I guess nuclear energy is green unless it emits. So that's something else that do you have? I think we talked about this during your broadcast yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Some of the uranium stocks here.
And here's a chart of CCJ, arguably the best of breed, if you will. I'll get to your question, Rich. Like we said, I mean, I don't care what you make. I joke sometimes they can make widgets. What do you think about that chart? I mean, it's a buy and a pullback. You know what I mean? Yeah. And let me get back to my previous point. I wouldn't short it. It's not necessarily think has to be equated, like I said, to a short. But when I'm going to stop using that term. Actually, I'm going to put that term on ice. Let's look. There's CCJ. Let's look at the other uranium stock, the little player, if you will, UEC.
I mean, that worked. Chart.
Yeah, that worked overnight from 403 to 420. You had to be quick. Don't get me wrong. But you know, you want to watch that. So listen, CCJ right now is a perfect storm. It's commodity related and geopolitically related. By the way, I don't think the two are completely that directly related. CCJ can be somewhat inflationary in the U.S. No, Coach?
Yeah.
So I mean, with or without a war, God willing, you know, inflation was starting to resonate a little bit before this Ukraine crisis. So CCJ, you know, as you can see, made a little pop before the war. So uranium I like. So I don't know. You have to like it. You have to build a position in it. This is a weekly, certainly above it. Then it'll go to a monthly. You know, that's a monthly chart on it. So let me remove all these lines. So go to monthly. You can do every line you want. It looks good. So I would probably start at 2250. You know what? If it goes above 25, it's probably going to rest, which is the strike. It's going to be, listen, you don't have to be a genius to build a position, you know, between here and here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, Mike, I was talking about 2% yields. We got to 205 and yields have dropped sharply. Having a big bond market rally, TLT, the last couple of days has been up pretty big. You know, from what I know in equities is when yields drop, you want to avoid the banks, the financials, right?
I apologize, Coach. That was my I have it written down in my notepad. Talk about the banks, but please finish.
No, so anyway, there's some guys looking for a pullback to 1.5. I know some guys saying we could see 1%, which is so, you know, hard to really put together when the Fed hasn't even moved yet. So we have yields dropping and the Fed's going to tighten in a couple of weeks, at least a quarter, I believe. Maybe they're going to have to go heavier, stronger with what's happening with energy prices. That's really the whole ball of wax is around energy. And, you know, I have some bearish beliefs, but, you know, we're getting parabolic and it's a blow off. But don't you think that lower oil prices would really be a benefit for, you know, Biden, for Powell, and even Russia's ally, China, would welcome lower oil prices? I'm not sure what could cap it, but it's his only source of funds. If I was him, I'd be increasing production to maximum right now in the oil. So I'm just saying it's a crowded trade. Your shorts may work out here, buddy. Tougher and leveraged futures, but your shorts may work out here.
You know what? I'm not. Listen, this is the type of trade where, you know, you want to walk away. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're in it for a penny, you're in for a pound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't really know a lot of. Okay, let me go to the financials. By the way, that'll answer your question. Am I on the? Yeah, I'm on. Let's go to the fins. Now, I texted. Like I said, I got a guy. You know, everybody's got a guy. I got an option guy. I'm the guy. Like I said in my video yesterday, I got a nice network, and I relay it to TradeGATEHub. I want to. You know what I mean? Stocks that I trade 20 million shares a day. Everybody can be all in. You know, I'm not the kid that covered up his answers in school. I was the kid that cheated. You know what I mean? So I want to get it all. I want to share. Yeah. So the bottom line is, you know, I got off on a tangent. Let's look at the fins. I texted somebody today. I got a fin guy.
Ugly.
Here are the financials.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I say, is it time? Because I want to put some money to work in the fund. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at Citibank, and that tells a story. I mean, Helene would say price. I'll leave that to the professionals, and the professionals when it comes to Citibank right now is the chart. That's bottom line, and the volume it did yesterday on 30 million. So let's go to the proverbial other best to breed JP Morgan. What are you going to do? Listen, JP.
It's ugly.
Ugly. I mean,
yeah.
You know, some things that I have are bouncing. Some things I like are basing. Thank God they're not bouncing. Basing, I'm starting to like, but. You know, what are you going to do with JP Morgan? That RSI, and by the way, it's only a tool. By the way, when a chart like that with that RSI can go a lot lower with the chart, as you know, it can sit down there for a while. That RSI before you're not going to have any V-shaped move in that. I don't think. So I called the guy.
Until the yields turn back up.
Well, that's correct, Liz Goldman. That Goldman's trying to. I mean, that you know, you flip that chart upside down when you buy it. I'd buy that chart. You flipped it upside down, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like it's on the verge of a breakdown. A lot of these.
All right. Somebody told me on my feed right now. Just come. They said just look at MasterCard and Visa. So there's MasterCard below every moving average. And, let's even stretch it out a little bit. Go to a weekly. All right. So it's broke, you want to buy something. I'm looking at a 300 whole number, maybe, you know what I mean? Around here. And that's what, 10% below, give or take, maybe 12% below. Let's look at Visa. So I don't know if this is spending. I don't know if there's credit. I texted you something on TGH yesterday about credit swaps. I leave that to the pros, but it doesn't take a pro to look at the price action in Bank of America. Bank of America. I would short Bank. You know what? I might even short Bank of America on a bounce. I certainly wouldn't buy it. I would be more apt to short that on a rally than buy it on a dip. I'd be certainly more. I'm not going to put the whammy on. I'm experienced enough to do that. Maybe it does rally back to 140 or 145, but certainly that's, I wouldn't be. You're not out of the woods. So that's the financials are telling the story there, right, Coach?
Yeah. Plus, I think some of them, the money centers, probably have some Russian exposure.
No, and by the way, I believe that Citibank is known for having the biggest overseas exposure. That may have changed. I don't want to quote anything, but I wouldn't, I don't think I'm way off.
I keep thinking about what Mark Chandler told me many months ago. He said that anytime the oil price doubles, it's almost a lock for a recession. So I don't know what your starting point is. You're not going to go from negative during COVID, but say, $20, it traded $20 down there. So we've actually had a quintupling or better of oil prices. So according to what Mark's seen over the years, that portends, people don't have as much money to spend on other things if they're putting it in the tank or for heating. And this is more than a doubling of oil price. I don't care where you put the starting point from the lows in the spring of 2020. It's the opposite. We have the opposite going on that what we had there. It was a waterfall, and now this is a spaceship.
I listen. I think that, listen, Coach, let's listen. We say about going back to the videos, please. Anybody listening to anybody, go back to last week. Pick any video last week. Coach, let me go back to the chart here. They let us out of the trade. I came in here pretty sure. This is what the war started, for lack of whatever we want to call it, right around here.
Yeah.
This USO was. I had the short every night. I'm saying, wow, this was the buy the rumor, sell the news. So I mean, you know what I mean. I didn't let the ego. You know what I mean. It was a delayed reaction. No.
Yeah.
You could have bought all the. Listen, whenever the first candidate, you could have bought all the Chevron you wanted. Well, there was Biden said he knew that everybody was going in over the weekend, and they started on a Monday, which I believe we were off. And yet all he wanted right there was the delay. I didn't understand it. And that's why I didn't believe it. By the way, that's why I think what it's doing now. Everybody just said, I think they were positioned a little bit more on the shorter side because it was amazingly a delayed reaction of what happened in crude. By the way, it was the same with GLD. GLD was peaking. GLD was looking better. I don't know how you feel about that, but GLD right here, like we said, this is not something, in this area you want to short here anyway, right?
Even silver is acting even better.
I liked how it acted. I quoted you on the video yesterday with the silver. That was the silver dip. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it was a day and a half pullback.
BP, Rich. BP. Listen, BP is such a massive company that it takes a lot. Listen, well, let's look at what Crude has done. And Crude is, Crude to triple. So it took for Crude to triple for BP basically to go from 27 to 32. That's $5. So you had everything going BP's way to go there. And now Crude is basically, it's still at highs, if you will. Hope it's not. And this is not something, it's going to have to take BP, the same type of geopolitical situation to resolve. And I know they had a little bit more than that to go back up. And quite honestly, I wouldn't be willing to take the risk right there. There are better is the cliche, right?
Okay. Yeah. And you know what, Mike, the market, actually, I know we're down today, but Nasdaq and some of the tech stocks seem a lot more immune to pressure here in the last week or so. What do you like in tech?
I still like, okay, appreciate that. And by the way, the banks are helping out. The banks are doing, if you're into tech, The banks are doing what they should be doing.
The semis, you know, have been.
Well, I came in short GFS today. I outsmarted them. Actually, I made money in this thing. Global Foundries. I came in short that today and I covered it
Nice.
a little early.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. But that was, you know what that was? That was that was just to have something. It came in all short overnight. I covered it like 50, whatever. But you know what? I'm long TTD still. Like TTD, I like it. And TTD, by the way, let's look at the NAS. The Nasdaq is, you know, if you go to my screen here, I do red, white, and blue. Red is being the 10-day, white as the American is being the 20-day, blue is the 50-day, and green, the money one, is the 200-day. So I apologize for being patriotic, but red, white, and blue is easiest for me to remember those moving averages. My point being, QQQ is down below all these.
Everything.
But yeah, and TTD, by the way, at its worst, did capitulate, but still even as QQQ's rally then did the pullback.
Yeah.
This one held above it all. It is a monster
strength. Yeah.
It is a best of breed. It's still below that. It's still on this chart line. Now I did have, you know, I took some off today and I'll be buying on a dips. I'm not going to go buy in another 2,000. I think I'm long, whatever, trade 2,800 shares, and I'll buy more. Don't get me wrong. I did take some off because I did buy it through 77. That's a tech stock I like. Yes. I like TT a lot. And I said it in, I have quartered in TradeGATEHub for those that know. I do like S. Sentinel One, that's a cybersecurity stock. I think it does need some rest. That's a new one of these new. That was a new issue. That's why I still think it has a little bit of juice in the punch bowl, if you will. But if you want to see it, look at cybersecurity, CRWD. I mean, that's also, that has, I think, room to grow. What's another one that I like? Oh, I like Upstart to buy on dips. I like the stock. I'm going to start buying more Upstart, probably at 125, maybe 134. I like Upstart. Square, I'm out of the trade. You know what I mean? I got out of it, as everybody should know, third day up. It went a little bit higher. Square next. I mean, like it's out of the channel. PayPal. Listen, PayPal's not, you know, PayPal should have moved. That, I mean, it is more of a move.
Yeah.
You know, what else am I looking at to buy?
You know what? Why not cover a little bit of crypto? It really shined the last few days as some safe haven buying came in there into Bitcoin. Wondering what, you know, coin looks like and some of the crypto related stocks you trade.
Well, coin looks good. I have somebody that told me he bought it, and it was, oh wow, coin, huh? Look at that.
Coin's fading now. Yeah, 193 was over 200.
I mean, listen, I don't want to get I don't know. I'm going to have a reason to buy it. Yeah. I'm going to have a reason to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I you know, today's action
in a 2-day move going from 172 to 207.
Yeah.
I mean, even percentage wise, that's a nice move for me. Sure. You know, I don't know. It's, you know what? Okay. It's a term that we should look at my microphone, by the way. I feel like Johnny Carson with this thing. Look at this.
I like that mic. It looks like you could.
I wanted to get him to hang it from the ceiling so I can go like this. What do I think about? But what do I think about coin? It's in the danger zone. It's in the middle of the range.
All right.
You know what I mean? It's in the middle. It has a 50% chance, in my opinion, of going up and down from this range. So let's look at BTIO, the Bitcoin ETF. That has a base.
Yeah.
Right. Better. Yeah. Let's look at Ethereum, if you will.
Yeah.
Blue Yeti. That's Rich got it for me. It is a Blue Yeti, Rich.
Yeah.
Great. I'm not kidding. I want to get it above here and have it like this. So when I get mad, I can just go and start yelling trades out. You know what I mean?
No, you don't want to do that because, you know, you're DJing in the afternoon. I know you are. So
I was
that mic.
No, I was known for having some pretty good songs, by the way. I could play a couple here, but I digress. The bottom line is Ethereum. You know what? I would go with the beat. You know, listen, the bottom line is maybe you want to buy the Bitcoin ETF because that, by the way, does look the best. And you want to trade around. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like they're going the best of breed in crypto too.
And you want to trade around it. But the ETF is the one that looks the best right here. Let's look at, and that's all. So, Blue Yeti, Mike. I know. I know. Rich thought I was asking him if he wants to buy Yeti, which, by the way, doesn't look that bad. By the way, Yeti on the chart.
Nice 2 drive.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Well, yeah. What do you want to wrap it with? How about this?
Okay, I want to wrap it up here.
Go ahead.
Well, you can say something and I'll wrap it up, Coach.
No, go
Today's
ahead.
Tuesday at 11:35, and I posted this yesterday, and it has to do with Jim Cramer, and it has to do with this was yesterday.
People giving him a hard time.
They have been giving a hard time, but you know what, man? He's getting freaking guy. He's plugging away. He's fighting back aggressively. I want you to watch this. If you go back to the Twitter feed, that wasn't it. This might be it. It's relevant. Hang on. Anyway, go back to one of my things. It's Jim Cramer's game plan for this week. So it's not too late. It's only Tuesday afternoon. You know what? I think the Ukraine war, or the war for whatever the war is being dubbed now, not to belittle it, is taking somewhat of a backseat as the commodities kind of rest. Now Fed speak is going to be tantamount from here until the end of until Thursday morning.
Right.
So that's my plan.
Obviously
we're seeing what's going on internationally, personally because I think our market drives more. Domestically, the Fed within the next day and a half is going to be tantamount, along with what's going on with the war. So I'm not really sure that it's yet to be determined if these financial stocks are telling what's going on overseas or really what's going on here. So, you know what I mean? Just we have a lot of
dollar's very strong. So and the bonds are strong. So people proclaiming the death of the dollar and the bond market. When things look hairy, money still flows there.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a time more than ever when smart money really stands out. This market is very mixed, and when these type of situations and the volatility that it is actually not as volatile as I thought, which is more, it even edifies my point that there's smarter money. The markets know in this situation. This isn't, a summertime, drift up, with the volatility and the rotation. And with the banks, I'm not talking about a couple of biotechs being up and down. The financials that we were talking about in JP Morgan, they know something's up here. You know what I mean? What's going on right now is greater than us, and the smart money when JP Morgan does that type of volume knows. So I'm following those. Using Apple as a gauge is out to a degree on my screen. Crude, yes, obviously is prevalent. I'll leave it at GLD, but I don't care if Coles is up 2. I don't care if Plug Power is up a half. I don't care if whatever. So I'm going back to the big things that matter here, because the smart money is going to know. So I'll leave it at that.
Smart money, you're a smart trader, and it's a stock picking environment, and you can't just own a spider and walk away anymore. You need to do your homework, do your research like Mike does, and come here and see what's on his radar screen every day. He posts volumes of great information every day. So Mike, thank you for your time again today, buddy. Good hunting. And again, your demeanor doesn't change. War or peace, higher rates, lower rates, VIX at 40, VIX at 20. Mike, you're a stable, you're an anchor, man. And it's not easy to do that in these environments. So,
well, I appreciate that.
Kudos, buddy.
No, okay. Cheers, everyone. Okay, and any questions? I always answer, and I should. I'm not patting myself in the back, but you know what I mean. The more volume we get, the more eyes, the better. So, like I said, there's no bad question. I even try to get better by, what I mean? Like the pros get better with the layups just as much as the 3-pointer. So what I'm saying is don't feel bad to ask a question. The general ones the most simple of plans can lead to the best of trades. So I'm going to leave it at that. So thanks for everybody participating, Coach. Same as well. It takes a warrior to know a warrior. And I'll see everybody after lunch signing off at 11:40. Cheers. Have a good day.
Mike. Thank you.